And this basically is a moment of reflection for us about the reality of death. I talked about this concept of a long life versus a short life on Wednesday night. Don't want to repeat anything from there. But I think this is important for us to reflect on this issue of death, that there is absolutely no pattern or a system or calculation where we can find out how long I'm going to live. Nobody come and give you, that information. Actually, in a way, this is a blessing. Because in the words of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, لو رأى العبد أجله وسرعته إليه. He says, if a person knows the time of his death, the day of when he's going to die, and if he comes to know how fast the death is approaching him, لأبغض العمل وترك طلب الدنيا. He will hate the worldly desires, and he will shun the activities that he's supposed to do in this dunya. He will just be occupied with the concept of maut and maut constantly. And so this is, Ali is saying that this by itself, this ignorance that we don't know when we will die, where we will die, in what state we will die, this itself is a blessing. But besides being a blessing, it is also a warning. Because we don't know, it means we have to be ready. It can happen anytime. And to be ready for death means what? It's not an issue of making sure, our will is written, or it is up to date, or we make sure that we are a member of a burial, scheme in the community in one center or another. We have made sure that we have bought the grave lot and everything. These are fine. But the main, warning that we have is that we should not delay the fulfillment of our duties. This whole issue of procrastination, because we think, well, I still have time. Who knows? How much time do we have? And when we see all these deaths of different ages, different situations, this is where we have to realize that we cannot delay and postpone the duties which are wajib on us, whether it is in relation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or in relation to other fellow human beings, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Quran says in Surah Al-Nahl, ayah 61, فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ, when their time comes, لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. They will not be able to delay it even for a moment, nor will they be able to bring it ahead of time for a moment. In Surah Yasin that we recite regularly, for the Isal al-Sawab of the Marhumin, the wisdom in reciting that surah, yes, it is for the reward of the deceased. But actually that surah is talking to us. If you look at the ayat there, that this is a reminder for the one who is alive. Surah Yasin is saying to us. So don't only read it for the marhum. The sawab will go there for sure. But the message of Surah Yasin is that this is a message for you. If the situation happens, فَلَا يَسْتَطِعُونَ تَوْصِيَةً وَلَا إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. When the death will come, it will come. If they have not done any will, the time is gone. They will not be able to make their last will. They will not even be able to reach back to their home or their family. And this is where we have to realize. Amir al-Mu'mineen has quite a lot to say about it. Let me share with you a passage from one khutbah from Nahj Balagha. It is khutbah number 188, where he says, "Usikum dhikr Allah, dhikr al-maut, wa iqlal al-ghafla anhu." He says, basically, I remind you, to remember the death and not to be heedless about it. وَكَيْفَ غَفْلَتُكُمْ عَمَّ لَيْسَ يُغْفِلُكُمْ. How can you ignore the death which is not ignoring you? We said, well, we don't know. But the mouth is there. It is targeted as, is there. وَتَعْمُكُمْ فِي مَنْ لَيْسَ يُمْحِلُكُمْ. How can you even think that we have a long life where the death, when it comes, is not giving us any respite or time? فَكَفَى وَاعِظًا بِمَوْتَى عَيَنْتُمُوهُمْ. For you to look at the funerals of those who have passed away is a sufficient advice and admonition. He says, remember, حُمِلُوا إِلَىٰ قُبُورِهِمْ غَيْرَ رَاكِبِينَ. They went to their graves, not riding on their own horse or walking by their feet. وَأُنزِلُوا فِيهَا غَيْرَ نَازِلِينَ. They were put down in the grave, not by themselves. They didn't go down. They were placed by others. فَكَأَنَّهُمْ لَمْ يَكُونُوا لِلدُّنْيَا عُمَّارًا. As if, they never lived here in this dunya. كَأَنَّ الْآخِرَةَ لَمْ تَزَلْ لَهُمْ دَارًا. And as if the akhirah, the hereafter, was their home. وَأَوْحَشُوا مَا كَانُوا يُوطِنُونَ وَبَثَنُوا مَا كَانُوا يُوحِشُونَ. The place that they considered to be their home is abandoned now. And the place that they ignored before has become their home now, referring to the grave. وَاشْتَغَلُوا بِمَا فَارَقُوا. They were busy in things, now they had to abandon and leave it back. وَأَضَاءُوا مَا إِلَيْهِ انْتَقَلُوا. And they forgot to prepare for the state in which they have been sent now. لا أنا قبيح يستطيعون انتقالا ولا في حسن يستطيعون ازديادا. Whatever bad they had done, they cannot remove that anymore. And whatever good they wanted to do more, the time is gone. آنسوا بالدنيا فغرتهم. They became so comfortable with this world that the world and the luxury of the dunya deceived them. وَثِقُوا بِهَا فَصَرَعْتُمْ. And this is where he says that, do not be deceived by this dunya. فَسَابِقُوا رَحِمَكُمُ اللَّهُ إِلَى مَنَازِلِكُمْ الَّتِي أُمِرْتُمْ أَن تَعْمُرُوهَا. And therefore, may Allah have, blessings on you, move forward for your houses where you have been asked to prepare yourself for it. Build your akhirah. وَالَّتِي رَغِبْتُمْ فِيهَا. You were told to get ready for it. وَدُعِيتُمْ إِلَيْهَا. And you were called towards it. And this is where he says, وَالْمُجَانِبَ لِمَعْصِيَتِهِ. Therefore, before that, one of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that to maintain, patience in fulfilling the obligations. It's hard, but still strive for it. And stay away from disobeying Him. فَإِنَّ غَدًا مِنَ الْيَوْمِ قَرِيبٌ. Because the eventual day for us is very close. ما عسر الساعات في اليوم وعسر الأيام في الشهر وعسر الشهور في السنة وعسر السنين في العمر. He says, all this time, because remember, tomorrow is close to today, and the hours of the day are very fast, and the days of the month are fast, and the months of the years are fast, and the years of our life are also moving fast. And so let us, reflect on this, inshallah, and, keep the reality in our mind. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the tawfiqat of each one of us and bless the marhumeen, especially those who passed away this week with maghfirah and rahmah, inshallah.